What's up, LoreHounds? It's Cooper here. I'm back with Fernando Paiz, the executive producers of Dungeons & Dragons Online. We're at the King's Forest, one of the new zones coming for Menace of the Underdark, which is the new and first expansion for DDO.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So here we're walking through the King's Forest, checking out some of the new different spawn mechanics that we have here in the King's Forest, as well as some of the Druid abilities that we're going to be able to take a look at for the first time.
Yeah, so right now he's obviously in his normal form, but Druids can actually do a variety of different things, as you would expect. So what are some of those things?
So the Druids, as you're alluding to in terms of his form, they get to take a different form if they like, a different physical form with their wild shape ability. The wild shape is going to have 3 different lines of shapes that you can take. The base one is the wolf. He's basically your melee DPS form. If you want to be slashing people up with your claws or biting them, then you're going to turn into your wolf form. We also have a bear form, which is more of your tank form. Take a lot of damage, absorb a lot of damage, as you might expect with the bears. And then we have a third line, which is elemental form, where you can actually become a fire elemental or a water elemental. And basically, what we want the forms to do is to serve as a different tactical choice in different situations. So if you want to focus on melee, you'll be the wolf. If you want to focus on your elemental spells, you'll turn into one of the elementals as well. The Druids have a really great spell book. They have a great selection of magic in the game. They have all this natural magic that gets them a lot of attack spells that are elemental spells. They get to set a lot of cool stuff on fire, basically.
And for the pyros out there.
Exactly. If you love setting stuff on fire and communing with nature, the Druid's for you. The Druid is definitely really cool that way, but at the same time, they have these different shapes that they turn into. So in different situations, you might prefer to be a wolf for damage sake or for swimming. The wolf might be a good choice, or the bear might be a good choice in other situations. And as you level up, you might unlock different versions of these. So there's a base wolf, but there's also a winter wolf form that you unlock that then also comes with a winter breath ability. Or there's a dire bear, which is just that much stronger, more badass.
So there's different trees for the different forms then?
Yeah, well, there's different lines that are going to be unlockable as you level up. So right now we're at least committing to those 6 that I've sort of given you. 2 flavors of each of those 3 lines, the wolf and the bear and the elemental. But over time I expect we can add a few more.
So the Druid class is very jack-of-all-trades kind of thing. Kind of jokingly said master of none. They can't really do anything great in any. But in Forgotten Realms, they were actually pretty good at turning into their form, and then it would pick up all their abilities and really maximize if they're in bear, strength, or defense. Is that kind of how we can expect it to play here?
Yeah, they're quite a powerful class for us. Part of this is just the rules the way they are. They are very versatile. They can play many different forms, but they still get some of the most powerful spells in the game, for example. So they're not really at a disadvantage where they're playing with a weaker version of the deck of cards other people have, let's say, right? So, for example, they get all those powerful elemental abilities to attack enemies with, but then they also have a very complete healing spell book as well as part of their natural magic abilities. So they're able to resurrect fallen comrades just like a Druid or a Cleric, and they even get the full heal spell. They just get it a little bit later than a Druid or a Cleric would, but they'll unlock all of them. So I definitely wouldn't say they're master of none, because they're quite powerful just in the way that they're built, and we certainly want them to be very fun, particularly in the early levels. It's not going to feel like you're not a powerful crew.
You can be an effective hybrid class. It just may take you a little more levels to get to that point, as opposed to a purebred class.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're going to be maybe lagging a tiny bit behind in terms of how much damage or healing you can do, but because you can do both, the combination is quite powerful. So yeah, that's one of the great things about them, and they're meant to be for us just a generalist type of class, but you can specialize them. I mean, that's always one of the great things about DDO, right? You specialize your character abilities in the things you want to focus on, the role you want to play in your party, and the Druid's no exception. So you're going to pick where you're spending your action points and taking feats and enhancements and spells depending on what role you want to play. If you're a solo type player, you might keep yourself pretty pretty generalized, but if you want to play more of a buffing support role for your party or even a healing role for your party, you'll end up specializing in that role instead.
Yeah, DDO is huge on the customization to the fact that you can kind of break your character if you're not careful. We also found out with Menace of the Underdark coming, you guys are actually raising the level cap by adding 5 epic levels. So what's the difference there, and how is that going to play out for the players?
Yeah, so that's a really exciting thing. We're going beyond level 20 for the first time. For those folks that aren't D&D geeks, level 20 is the natural level limit of D&D. That's how it originally worked, and it stopped at 20. And what we call that is heroic levels. So heroic levels stop at level 20, and then you enter into epic levels that go north of 20, basically. So
everybody loves being epic.
Who doesn't like being epic? Epic this, epic that. But yeah, so going into epic levels, we wanted to mark that transition in a really clear way. And so what we did is we actually have developed a new leveling system that starts at level 20 for epic levels called Epic Destinies. And these are going to be essentially the epic version of enhancements that you will unlock as you progress through your epic levels. But the cool thing about the Epic Destinies is that you're not tied to just one line of Epic Destinies that correspond to your class or even your race. As you move forward and level up more in epic levels, you can actually unlock extra destinies that might be a little bit further from your core abilities. As, say, a fighter, you know, you're going to have certain fighter melee enhancements in your epic destinies by default that are closest in reach to you, let's say. But over time, you might focus on an epic destiny that's all about being stealth and a rogue. So again, it's like multi-classing without really multi-classing. Your classes stay the same from level 1 to 20, and then there's something else which isn't classes, which are these destinies that take place from 20 north of there, right now until 25.
Again, further customization for our characters.
Further customization. I don't know of many MMOs that let you multi-class as it is, because of, as you said, you can break your character or create a particularly, well, let's call them peculiar build if you're not careful. But that's also one of the great things about DDO, and so we just wanted to layer that on there and give people who maybe have played a straight up class up until now, maybe they were pure fighter or pure sorcerer up until now, an easier way to branch out without necessarily taking some of the negatives that go with multi-classing.
So DDO is bringing us, in Menace of the Underdark, a smorgasbord of things. We've talked about some of it previously and some more here. We also have a huge technical leap. We've seen some of the different landscapes going on behind us, from, you know, the woods area to the nether realm kind of area that is home to Lolth, the antagonist. Is there any other major changes we can expect in the engine?
There's a ton of engine changes. A lot of them are behind the scenes for the players. We take performance and stability pretty seriously. We're trying to crank up the number of monsters and characters that are going to be in any scene at any moment in time. So we have a full upgrade of our physics, of our animation system, our graphic systems. We have new tech to render the trees that you're seeing here, the beautiful trees in the King's Forest. We're going to have unique animation, new updates to our graphics, shaders, a lot of stuff. And that's just on the engine side, as you say. On the game system side, likewise, in addition to the new leveling systems and the Druid, we also have things like the Monster Manual, which is an all-new system that's going to reward you for encountering and defeating different types of monsters and teach you about them. And of course, it's a great fit with the lore, the D&D rule set and everything else. So when you start the game as a level 1 character, you're going to slowly uncover information about different monsters that are in different volumes of the Monster Manual. That's a whole new achievement system that's coming with the game as well.
Is that going to be retroactive for people who've already, you know, gone past those steps?
Well, it'll be available to everybody, but we're not going to count, let's say, your kobold kills that you slaughtered kajillion kobolds by now. No,
There's only like one adventure with kobolds. What are you talking about?
Just one. You maybe remember one best. There's a few. No, but you're going to go back and be able to play it. So a bunch of the achievements are account-wide, so you're going to be able to progress them on any character as you're playing through, and some are character-specific, but it won't be retroactive in terms of, you know, counting your prior kills or achievements.
So LoreHounds, we got Menace of the Underdark. It's coming out. Well, we're getting beta in early May, right? And then we're going to get the full game June 25th. We can't wait. Thanks so much.
Thank you.